Hey guys, we're back with a video that I've been waiting a while to make now. Just a few hours ago, as of writing this script, we finally got our first look at Prehistoric Planet Ice Age. And while it's not a big trailer and only showcases one species, it's still amazing nonetheless. So let's take a look at this clip and break down what we can. First off, we can hear that instead of David Attenborough, the show's being narrated by Tom Hiddleston. Like a lot of people, I only know him from his time as Loki, but he seems to be doing a pretty good job here nonetheless. Moving on to the animals themselves, I've gotta say that they've met and maybe even exceeded my expectations. I really shouldn't have had any doubts in the first place since both seasons of the show look stunning, but I was a little skeptical to see if the animations here would look super good. The reason I say that is with mammals we've got a lot more current day analogs to use as reference, so any deviations from what we're used to would look a lot more uncanny than say, any less than stellar animations from a T-Rex. We did have one mammal showcased in Prehistoric Planet. Well, two if you're counting that dead thing in the Troodontid segment, but I'm more so talking about the Adalatherium. And while I thought it looked quite good, there was the smallest level of floatiness and uncanniness in the way it moved. Nothing to really take me out of it, just something I happened to notice. With this clip, I've gotta say I didn't really feel that way at all. Maybe it was just the hype of finally seeing some footage for the first time, but I was really taken aback by how lifelike the movements and just the CGI in general were. Sure, we didn't get every little micro twitch or movement you'd expect in a nature documentary, but at that point I'm just splitting hairs. And I feel like the flowiness, if that's the right word, of the animals here showcases how freakishly detailed these models are. This is top tier CGI, not just for a TV show, but it straight up rivals movie level CGI. And in an age where visuals can often look pretty subpar, due mostly of course to studios slave driving their artists and working them on awful time crunches, seeing something like this is such a breath of fresh air. Now, as I mentioned in my earlier Prehistoric Planet video, I'm not super great at distinguishing sloths. I can at least tell though that this isn't the same as that sloth we saw in our initial batch of images, the one that a lot of people said was Nothrotheriops. I went through Reddit, Twitter, and even the YouTube comments of both the Apple TV and IGN videos to see if I could get a clue, but I couldn't really find anything. We'll just have to wait until the show releases to get confirmation. What I don't think this animal is, however, is any of the really big sloths like Megatherium or Orematherium. Granted, it could just be a perspective thing, but this animal looks like it's medium-sized, maybe closer to something like a Megalonyx, which is still a really big sloth, but it's not gigantic or anything. But the thing is, I do think we're gonna see Megatherium as well, since it's a super iconic Pleistocene animal, which means that we're probably currently at 3 different sloths in total for this show. So going back to that prior video I made, I think sloths really will be the pterosaurs of this series, in that we'll see a whole bunch of members of a group which have relatively similar body plans, more so than anyone might have expected. But maybe it's just my mammal bias talking here, but I really don't care. I just really hope we get to see some even more unique fauna. Again, begging for an islands episode to cover places like Madagascar and New Zealand. But that's just about as much as I can try and milk out of this trailer, other than it's probably taking place in North America. Hopefully on the eastern half, since we usually always get the American West in Pleistocene media. Between this clip and the poster for Surviving Earth that came out a couple hours earlier, today's been a boon for fans of paleo documentaries. I really do agree with those people saying that we're in a renaissance for this kind of stuff. And I hope both of these series do super well so we keep getting more projects of this nature.